Hey gang, welcome to chapter 25 of the Crucible Chronicles. I hope you all are doing well. We're coming off of chapter 24 where we played our absolute favorite decks from each set, really taking advantage of the fact that there are 5 KeyForge sets and each chapter of the Crucible Chronicles historically has been 5 episodes. We're going to go ahead and throw that out the window for the time being because this chapter may just never end. That's how it's by design. We may be in chapter 25 for the remainder of the hiatus. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it's an open-ended chapter. And let me tell you how this is going to work. And to clarify, this is not something that I've come up with. I think it was All for One Gaming pretty early on had this idea, and I think I tried streaming it with them at some point, and it was really fun. But the idea here, and I think there was a name that I can't really recall at this point, but we're going to be doing a little King of the Hill survival, if you will, with our own collection, with my own collection. And how this is going to work is, of course, there are different houses in KeyForge, different, 3 houses to a deck. And the idea here is we're going to play a deck. We're going to pick a deck, play it until we lose. If we lose. When we lose, to be fair. When we lose, we're going to hopefully have our opponent choose one of the houses from that deck and ban it. Now, I'm just going to be playing random people on TCO, so full disclosure, if there's a situation where they are not using chat or something and they won't ban a house from my deck, then I'll just do it randomly, and I'll do that on video here as well. But what will happen is, as we continue to lose with each new deck, that will ban a new house each time from our remaining pool of decks. And these are cumulative. So, if Star Alliance gets banned, then, second time we lose, it's going to be Star Alliance and Shadows that get banned, and they will continue to accumulate. So eventually we're going to get to the point where I no longer have any decks that even I could field, right? I don't have that house combination, or maybe we really do well and manage to get it to the point where there's only 2 houses left, which obviously no KeyForge deck has only 2 houses. So that's the general idea here. I'm hoping it's going to be fun. I guess I'll mention this as well. Probably the most sensible way to go about this is to just play my Archon deck. Like if I were to play in a big Archon tournament or something, play the deck that I would play there because it's really strong and I think it's good. We're going to kind of come at it from a different direction. We may end up getting to that point, but let me kind of show you a little spreadsheet I've come up with here, and then we'll go into actually picking the deck. So very basic spreadsheet here. This is just a breakdown from my collection, which I think is around 60 decks at this point. So not, good size. I think that's a pretty good size, but certainly no, multiples, hundreds or thousands of decks or anything like that. And this is a breakdown from my collection of the number of decks that each house appears in. So as you can tell, I've got it sorted here from the lowest occurring house all the way up to the highest occurring house. So 7 Mars being my lowest, my least common house, and Logos, of course, a blistering 34. Probably no surprise that I'm a big fan of Logos. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of a different strategy, and I guess I will say this. My Archon deck, if I were to play Archon, is Shadows, Untamed, Logos. So again, as I mentioned, not planning on starting out with that, but I do want to keep that available as an option. Potentially down the road. We'll see. So what I want to do is I want to start with my least common decks, or least common houses, I should say. So we're for sure going to do Mars because it's my I don't know, it's a good place to start. It's the one I have the least decks of. Now, to the keen observer, of course, know that Mars and Unfathomable currently are not in any. They do not share any sets together. So we're going to stick with Mars. We can't do Unfathomable because there would be no decks that do that. Brobnar is our second lowest here. So we'll go ahead and earmark that, and it's by a decent margin, 4 less decks than Star Alliance. So I think this is going to be kind of the baseline for looking through my collection, trying to get something that's Mars and Brobnar. And then if we keep looking, Star Alliance and Mars were never in a set together as well. So that basically leaves kind of in that same area. We've got Dis and Sanctum. I mean, those just being one deck apart. So basically, we're looking for a Mars, Brobnar, and either Dis or Sanctum. Again, Saurian, much like Star Alliance and Unfathomable, does not show up in any sets with Mars. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop on over to my collection on decks of KeyForge here. Shout out to DOK. I mean, no matter what you think about the rating system, there are some really cool collection management tools and absolutely interesting ways that you can kind of search through your collection. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take out all these other houses. We'll do Mars, Brobnar. So we want for sure there to be Brobnar and Mars. And basically we've said that there can't be any of these other houses. So what this should do is give us from our collection the potential options that we have. Now, let's see here. What do we got? We got Centipoet of the Peacemaker's Belt and Thunderbolt Layla, Capital Baroness. So this is a relatively new deck to me right here. It's a pretty big board deck, and it has the Horseman in it, which is kind of cool. But I also absolutely adore Centipoet of the Peacemaker's Belt. I feel like it's been on the Crucible Chronicles somewhat recently, but I could be wrong on that. Could have just been on stream. So I think just because I'm interested in it, we're going to play Centipoet. So let's take a quick look at it. It's definitely no slouch. This is a really fun deck, really cool deck. Pretty singular in what it's attempting to do. You'll note there's not really any type of Ember control in the deck, but as you would expect, Brobnar, Mars, Sanctum. Some really interesting synergies here. We have the double Fire Spitter, so before fight, deal 1 damage to each enemy creature. We also have double Cleansing Wave, which is pretty cool. And this deck has a lot of like beefy creatures. So, you know, Earthshaker, double Fire Spitter, double Ganger Chieftain, triple Headhunter. We've got Punch, Lava Ball. I also forgot the Rogue Ogre here. We got a bunch of big creatures. We got some damage. We got, you know, Orbital Bombardment, so we can do some damage, get some damage out there. So these Cleansing Waves can really do some work if our opponent, even if our opponent doesn't have any creatures on the board. It's pretty likely that we've done some fighting and some of our creatures are damaged. So that's pretty cool. We also do have the Sergeant Zakiel, who has the play ability, you may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. So one thing I like to do with this deck, if possible, is leave a Fire Spitter on a flank, such that there might be a situation where we can fight with use Sergeant Zakiel to fight with the Fire Spitter on a Sanctum turn, spew out a bunch of that damage, and then immediately get some value off of a Cleansing Wave. I mentioned not a whole lot of Ember control. I mean, basically no Ember control for the most part, outside of just a little bit here and there. But there's also this cool Mars. We're, of course, always looking to get my absolute favorite card on the board, Incubation Chamber, with the Omni Reveal a Mars creature from your hand. If you do archive it, this deck's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mars creatures, and it has double Battle Fleet. So you can't really cheat out a key or anything with, I mean, there's no key abduction or anything like that, but double Battle Fleet can definitely do some work, especially when you've just stuffed a bunch of Mars cards into your archives over the course of the game, that is. So let's go ahead and start with this. I will mention for the duration of this particular chapter, we're going to be in the competitive queue. I've been trying to do that a little bit more. You know, occasionally I feel like I play some stuff that is like pretty middling, but I feel like part of the fun of this challenge is like we sort of want to lose in some ways. Like obviously we want to win, to go and play as many games and go as long as we can. But you know, part of the interesting part of the challenge, or this way to play is just simply trying to figure out and play different things in the collection that you might not otherwise, because you're now looking at restricting yourself to a certain house configuration. So without further ado, let's hop into today's game, the first in what hopefully will be an interestingly long chapter of the Crucible Chronicles. But the real question is, can Centipoet take a game off a different deck in the competitive queue? Let's find out. All right. We have Karen B. absolute legend of the KeyForge community and a great KeyForge pal of mine. Let's see what she's playing. Dyslexic Angantyr of the River. A Worlds Collide deck. Brobnar Logos Saurian. We've got, we're gonna have some double Gengar Chieftain action. Oh, double Gengar Chieftain action with the Mega Gengar Chieftain action. So that's pretty cool. Also double Hapsis here. So those will be some great targets for those Gengar Chieftains. Also, we've got Reassembling Automaton. We got the Code Monkey. Man, I love Code Monkey. Love Code Monkey. Let's take a quick look at this Saurian. Gargantodon. Sure, whatever. Tribute on Imperial Scutum will definitely not be super fun for us. We're gonna have to definitely do some work. That's for sure. We have to do some work to take some stuff off the board here. Usually Centipoa doesn't have to worry too much about the size of the creatures, but you know, we're playing some Worlds Collide here. We got a Narp in there. We got well, Mega Gengar Chieftain, the Pterodactyl, Gargantodon. Oh, there's also a Senator Strix. I missed that. That doesn't really have anything to do with the fighting I was talking about. But question is, do I just play this incubation chamber? No. Let's try and be smart. Let's be smart more. We're going for the dub. Nice. Red or Gallum. Imperium. So that's also pretty good. Yes, feed me. All right, so there's a couple different things here. We could, honestly, I think I play this Mind Warper. Instead of holding it for the incubation chamber, we can put the Biomatrix back up on it. So I think that'll be good. We'll go ahead and throw that down. Biomatrix back up onto the Mind Warper. So that's interesting. Was sort of hoping we were going to get some type of Mars cards. A Mars creature we could start stuffing away, but we also have a pretty decent Brobnar turn here lining up. Pretty decent Brobnar turn lining up. Discards Code Monkey. Karen. Code Monkey. You must keep the Code Monkey. All right, we probably take a Brobnar turn here. I guess we play out the old Fire Spitter to the left. Gengar Chieftain to the left. Fire Spitter to pop some wards and kill some stuff. The Rogue Ogre can fight the Hapsis. We just reap twice here. Sure, let's just reap twice. All right, so we got the Orbital Bombardment, which we weren't exactly looking for. We will be able to get on to check. There is a Graft, interesting. So we will want to probably not try and go too crazy with our Ember here. All right, I think we take a Sanctum turn here. Go ahead and play Virtuous Works. Play Virtuous Works. How do we want this to work? Take hostages? Sure. Tabris to the left. Zakiel to the left. To fight the Red or Gallum. And the Staunch Knight out further to the left. So that puts us up to 8. We'll see if Karen's got the Graft. Positron Bolt. All right. Interdimensional Graft. And Dataforge. Babbling Bibliophile. All right then. We'll go ahead and do that. we'll do that. Tabris. Let's call a Sanctum turn. No, we don't want the stuff from the archives. We'll go ahead and play out the Potion of Invulnerability. Let's see. So we could fight with Zakiel. There's no way to get me for me to get more. I do want to fight with this champion Tabris to take Karen off a check. So we'll fight there. We'll go ahead and fight there. Go ahead and play out the Staunch Knight and play Cleansing Wave up to 6. Call it pretty good. Still not a single Mars creature. It's pretty funny. Please don't have to scoot him. No, scoot him. That's pretty amazing. 4 damage to a creature with 2 damage splash. I think we just had to kill that creature, right? We'll call a Brobnar our turn. We'll go ahead and pop the Potion of Invulnerability. Pop the potion. I guess we play Lava Ball. We'll then Headhunter. Oh, interesting. I should have just discarded the Lava Ball, I think. Yeah, I should have done that. Headhunter to the right. And Gengar Chieftain. Oh, we got the GG. Oh, man. The absolute just board presence. All right. I would like to clarify here. Where's all the Mars? Where did it go? We got 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 Mars cards left. We didn't see a single creature outside of the Mind Warper. That's a thing. That's a thing. Anyways, well, that was a pretty good showing from Centipoet, I will say. A little bit shorter on the game, but I feel like with the kind of description of the format and stuff, that'll probably be pretty good for this video. So I will see you all next week, and I guess we're having another game with Centipoet, so this will be fun. I will see you then.